Hello and welcome back. This is lesson 8 of the Mum's Taxi app. Now, yesterday somebody asked me why we are doing such basic apps. This guy knows a little more about development than most people. And the answer is very simple. These challenges are aimed at people who've never had exposure to coding. And I have to constantly bear in mind that there are people as young as 8 and 9 years old that are following the coding challenge. So it's you can see it as almost giving people that never had coding insight an idea of what's going on behind the scenes with apps. If you want the more hectic, more advanced coding tutorials, we got plenty of those. I mean, if you want to delve into Java and PHP, and we've already started production of C# and Microsoft .NET platform, which I'm happy to announce. If you want to get into those, head off to our website. There's lots of tutorials there. There's some free courses and there's lots of tutorials. And if you want to make a career out of this, then we have the full 1-year accredited entrepreneur course at IT Varsity on the website. You can try it out for free. So without any more delays, we're gonna now continue and in fact conclude the styling of our app. So today, the visual user interface of our app. The user interface is the part that the user interacts with, the part that the user sees of the app. That's going to be done. And as of tomorrow, we're going to start coding the back end, meaning the background functionality of our app. So without any delays, let's get down to it. So what are we trying to achieve today? What we're trying to do is to style these two text input boxes. Now, there's a few things that we want to do. Firstly, we want to make them nice and big, like the Go button. Remember, this is for a touch interface. So you need to make your elements big enough so people's fingers can touch them. And fingers are generally much fatter than a mouse pointer. On a computer, you're using a mouse pointer, so it's fine if it's small like this. But on a touch screen, you need to accommodate the width of a typical adult finger. Okay, so that's the first thing we want to do, make it big enough for touch. The second thing is just like the Go button, we want to make the corners rounded. And the third thing we want to do is remove the scroller on the side. So the scroller comes for free. I mean, the browser puts it there to I don't know what really. I don't know who uses this, but it's to scroll the numbers up and down. So we're going to remove that because we really don't need that in a touch interface. What's going to happen is the user is going to touch this box and then the keyboard is going to pop up from the bottom and the user will simply type in the number. In fact, the numeric keypad will pop up, not even the full keypad. Okay, so let's get down to styling this guy. So we're going to head to our style sheet. And then we're going to put in a selector for, let's see if you can figure it out. Looking at our HTML, what is the class name of the input boxes? It's this one, inputs. So the first thing we're going to do is put in a selector for inputs. All right, and then your curly braces appear automatically. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set the background color to white, #FFF. We're going to set the width to 80%, just like the Go button. So basically, these input boxes are going to be the exact same width as the Go button. And they're going to be neatly aligned top to bottom, left and right aligned. Next, we give it a border radius. That is identical to the Go button. Remember, we gave this a border radius of 0.5 EM. So we'll do the same here. So let's save this and refresh. See what we have achieved. Fantastic. So we've got the right width and you can see we've got that border radius there. Next, we're going to give it a font size of 3 REM And as I mentioned before, all of these measurements, these size measurements, we delve into them in detail in the Entrepreneur course. If you want to learn more about this, sign up for that. We're not going to get into details about those here. And finally, we're going to give it a text align of center. Once again, notice the spelling here. This is the American spelling, right? In the countries that use the UK spelling, it's C-E-N-T-R-E, but not in CSS. In our normal writing, we use C-E-N-T-R-E, but in CSS, we use the American spelling, C-E-N-T-E-R. Okay, let's save that and refresh once again. So you can see it's already resized and it's got the rounded corners. It's looking beautiful. But we're not done. Now we're going to add in some CSS classes. Now watch this one here, right? It's input : dash WebKit dash outer dash spin dash button, comma, input : WebKit dash inner dash spin dash button. Now, in case you're wondering, this is targeting those spin buttons, those up and down buttons, these unsightly buttons here. All right. And then we're going to do WebKit. Don't forget the dash appearance. And we're going to set that to none. And then we'll give it a margin of 0. Fantastic. Let's save this and refresh and see what happens. Boom. Those unsightly little spinner buttons are now gone. Now we're going to do just one more thing here. And this is for certain types of browsers, just in case. This is more a just in case move than anything else. And that is, we're going to put in input and in square braces, type equals number. And for all inputs that have a type equals number, we're going to do dash moz dash appearance, and we're going to say text field. Now the moz here stands for Mozilla. Now Mozilla is the company that made the Firefox browser. So this is especially targeted at the Firefox browser, just in case your user is using this app in an actual browser. All right, that's not going to make any change to what we've already seen. So even if you save and refresh, you're going to see it's just the same. Now there's one other element that we haven't yet styled, and that is the one that goes here. Remember, the output element goes inside there. So when we put in some numbers, now this is looking at the finished version of the app, there's your output element. So currently our output element hasn't been styled. So we're going to target that using hash output, and we're going to give it a font size of 9VW and a margin top of 3 REM. Excellent. So we can save this and refresh in the browser, but we're not going to actually see anything because there isn't any output text. Now that output text will be inserted by our code, which we haven't written as yet. So that code is going to go at the bottom of the page. But as much as you are excited about getting into the actual code, I'm going to leave that for the next lesson, and I'll catch you then.